Hey everybody, this is Fred Richani of TSC News. I just read a headline via TMZ Sports that I cannot believe I read. I can't believe it. I should be able to believe it, but I can't. And I'm very disappointed, okay? Just quick backstory, okay? My first ever live UFC that I covered as press was Jon Jones' title victory over Shogun Rua. I thought this kid was going to be a star. I thought he was going to carry the torch for the sport of MMA for a decade to come. Now let's fast forward to now. It is August 22nd, 2017, and I am reading the following. Jon Jones failed drug test at UFC 214. I repeat, Jon Jones failed drug test at UFC 214. Let's read this story from TMZ. Jon Jones has tested positive for steroids in his UFC 214 victory over Daniel Cormier and has been stripped of his title, TMZ Sports has learned. Our sources tell us Jones tested positive for turinabol, an anabolic steroids. It's the second time Jones has failed a USADA drug test. He tested positive for a banned substance in 2016 before UFC 200 and was pulled from the main event, also against Daniel Cormier. He got socked with a 1-year ban. We're told around this time he could be banned for up to 4 years. By the way, there's a line here that says the title now goes back to Cormier, which I'm assuming it does, although the UFC has yet to confirm that. But for those that know anything about UFC and TMZ, they tend to have a cozy relationship over the years. I don't know what to say. From a fan's perspective, from an observer's perspective, it is heartbreaking. It is disappointing. It pisses me the hell off to see somebody with so much talent. A man who also has the potential to positively impact so many lives from his platform. But what does he do? Gets suspended for steroids. Oh, I'm sorry. A sex pill or whatever the hell he called it the first time. Gets a DUI in the car with 2 women weighing his wife. Hit and run. And now, yet another steroid suspension. Forget USADA for a second, okay? Forget USADA, okay? He failed this test in the state of California, which is one of, if not the toughest athletic commission in the country right now for mixed martial arts. This is his second offense. Second offense in terms of PEDs. If I'm the UFC, I cut bait. I cut him. He ain't going to be able to fight again for at least a couple of years. Maybe 3 years, maybe as TMZ states, perhaps 4. So here's a guy that just turned 30 in the prime of his career. Had the whole world in his hands again. Again! And he just F's it up. Throws it away. I don't know what else to say. It's just, I can't stand it. This guy is the greatest fighter I have ever seen in the sport of mixed martial arts. Maybe the greatest fighter in combat sports, period. The history of it. And now, he has effectively murdered his career. Maybe he'll go to Russia. Maybe he'll go to Japan. Those athletic commission bans don't apply there. Although they're going to hurt his case in the U.S. if he tries to do that. I hope you got money saved up, dude. Few things before I go. One, I feel so bad for Daniel Cormier. Because he has been robbed multiple times of truly beating Jon Jones. And you can say what you want. Oh, he lost fair and square. He lost to a dude who pissed hot. At the end of the day, that victory is tainted. Not only is it tainted because he tested positive, it is tainted because of how he viciously knocked out Daniel Cormier. You guys want to make fun of Cormier crying? That dude probably suffered a severe concussion. A severe concussion at the hands of a dude that was gassed up. Daniel Cormier is almost 40. He's presumably been clean his entire career. And he got viciously knocked out for the first time in his career by a guy who is already considered maybe the greatest fighter of all time, who pissed hot for steroids. That's a double whammy right there for Daniel Cormier. On top of all that, financially speaking, Jon Jones is going to lose a lot of money. I'm sure he's going to be fined a significant amount of his purse. Maybe he'll lose his whole purse. We'll see. And lastly, I think it goes without saying, I don't know how this is going to affect his personal life. I'm sure it's going to strain it, but legacy. He didn't piss hot just once. He pissed hot twice. And I've been covering the sport long enough to not be naive about the PED use in the sport that's run rampant for many years. That's gotten better over time thanks to USADA, but still, over the course of this sport's history, it has run rampant. And it was a thing that people just turned a blind eye to and said, who cares? UFC kind of turned a blind eye to it. Who cares? Hey, we're getting knockouts. We're making money. Who cares? And they only really got USADA when they had to do something about this whole drug test failure, the epidemic that's been happening over the years. Even before. I think it was the whole testosterone replacement therapy thing with Chael Sonnen, and that really kind of forced UFC's hand. And, I think it's kind of made the sport better in some ways. The USADA system's flawed, but at the end of the day, I do think there are more clean fighters than there have been at any time in the sport. I could be wrong. Somebody could correct me if they think I'm wrong. Feel free to. But we look at Jon Jones now. Statistically, the greatest fighter of all time. Wins and losses. You look at how he's conducting himself in the cage, but can we really call him the GOAT now? Can we technically call Anderson Silva the GOAT when he pissed hot for 2 separate drugs, although he also claimed it was a sex pill or sex pills the first time around anyway? And who is the greatest now? Is there one definitive greatest? Is it George St. Pierre, who never pissed hot, who was the great welterweight? Is it Fedor Emelianenko, who never pissed hot, although, the guy did have a significant drop once he got to the States when he was fighting in the States full time? I don't know. We'll see what happens, folks, but I want to hear from you. What do you think about this Jon Jones mess? What do you think about Daniel Cormier? Where the hell do you think the UFC, Jon Jones, go from here? Let me know. Leave a comment below. Tweet us, Facebook us, do what you got to do. If you enjoyed this update, please like, share, take care. Don't forget to subscribe. God damn, man. You did the damn thing. You ruined your career, dude. And you got nobody to blame but yourself.